The age-old question, why do some men seem to have a preference for virgins? Is it about purity, insecurity, or something else entirely? Let's dive into this quirky yet fascinating topic with a light-hearted touch while keeping our feet firmly planted in the world of relationship dynamics. First of all, let's clear the air. The idea that men prefer virgins is not as simple as it sounds. We're talking about boyfriend-girlfriend, husband-wife dynamics here, not some medieval notion. It's 2024, after all. But there are still a few reasons why this preference might exist for some men, and it often ties back to psychology, societal expectations, and even biology. Let's picture a couple, Mike and Sarah. They've been together for a while, but there's an underlying tension because Mike seems to be obsessed with Sarah's past. Ever wonder why some men like Mike seem to get all worked up over the idea of virginity? In many cases, it's less about the woman herself and more about their own insecurities or cultural conditioning. Some men may think they are more special or worthy if they are with someone with no past sexual history. Sounds funny, right? It's kind of like buying a brand new car versus a used one, except we all know that humans aren't cars. This mentality puts too much emphasis on being first, rather than focusing on building a deep connection. And let's be real, virginity is a concept created by society, not biology. Sometimes men who prefer virgins do so because of an underlying need for control. In traditional societies, this preference was often linked to property, loyalty, and even bloodlines. Imagine our hypothetical guy, John, who's about to propose to Emma. He's worried not about their future, but about whether she was ever with someone else before him. It's almost like John is trying to score points in a game no one else is playing. Funny, isn't it? Imagine marrying someone based on their record, rather than the depth of your love or understanding. What if John was judged based on how many times he watched a certain movie before meeting Emma? It sounds ridiculous, right? Well, focusing on virginity in relationships is just as absurd. Now let's look at how this virginity obsession can affect the mental health of both partners. Men who fixate on a partner's sexual history often end up feeling insecure, jealous, and controlling, which creates tension. Imagine living with someone who keeps reminding you that your past defines your present. Annoying much? On the flip side, for women, constantly feeling judged based on their sexual history can lead to anxiety, low self-esteem, and feelings of inadequacy. Relationships thrive on trust, communication, and mutual respect, not arbitrary labels like virgin or experienced. The obsession over someone's past can take a toll on both mental and physical health. Stress hormones skyrocket, intimacy plummets, and suddenly, it's less about love and more about proving yourself. Some argue that this preference is biological or evolutionary, claiming men are programmed to seek virgin partners to ensure paternity. But let's pause for a second. Humans have evolved a bit, haven't we? We've developed apps to find love, we've built empires together, and yet some of us still act like we're competing in the caveman Olympics. While there may be a small evolutionary component to this preference, it's nowhere near as significant in today's complex relationship dynamics. If Mike or John is worried about their partner's past, they should focus on building trust rather than obsessing over ancient biological instincts. After all, we've moved past clubbing each other over the head and dragging people back to caves, right? Virginity or not, the real question should be, is this relationship healthy, both mentally and physically? Relationships where one partner feels scrutinized can lead to all sorts of problems, from stress-induced headaches to a lack of intimacy. And who wants that? Imagine Sarah trying to relax after a long day, but all she can think about is how Mike keeps questioning her past. Stress is not a good look on anyone. On the physical health front, stress from jealousy or control issues can weaken the immune system, disturb sleep, and even lead to unhealthy habits. It's kind of like drinking soda every day and wondering why you feel bad. Instead of worrying about virginity, couples should focus on mutual care, good communication, and most importantly, a shared sense of humor. Personally, I think this whole obsession with virginity is outdated and unnecessary. Relationships are about growth, trust, and shared experiences, not some arbitrary label. What matters is how well you communicate and care for each other. If we focus more on building strong emotional connections and less on the past, everyone will be happier. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever dealt with this issue in your relationship? Drop your experiences in the comments below. And if this video helped you see things differently, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more quirky takes on relationship dynamics.